or TuneIn apps. Check it out now.
It's time for Sports Day.
Beautiful day.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
So we just finished the Miami Hurricanes spring game. What we take away from it? Well, they seem to be a little bit ahead of schedule. Darian Mensah, transfer quarterback from Duke, looked locked in, throwing for 3 touchdowns. Not a lot of Malachi Toney, but Malachi Toney proved enough last year in his freshman year that he doesn't have to really go out there and really ball out during the spring game. Other than that, we now wait for an opening week Friday game against Stanford. Miami Hurricanes going to have 3 games in 17 days to open the season. So we get very excited about that. And also, the Heat season and the Panthers season finished. 2 teams going in very different directions this offseason. Where you at? I am Dan Day along with my cousin Vladimir Louison. We're going to take you up to 2:30 before the Marlins Brewers game. And Vlad, I'm going to ask you this. A lot of people upset.
3:30.
What did I say? 2:30?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I was in Central Time. I was in Brewers Central Time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, wait, we out an hour earlier?
No, I was in Central Time. Brewers, and for the Brewers fans that are listening, because I know they're listening.
Yeah, of course.
Even though you
Milwaukee,
can't stream him online.
Green Bay. Yeah.
I know the area. What, Madison, Wisconsin. Nonetheless, my cousin Vladimir Louison. A lot of people are upset about the transpiring Tuesday night when the Heat and the Hornets in their playing game. But was it really much ado about nothing?
I mean, I guess if you wanted to see an extra game for them to play and get their ass handed by the Orlando Magic, a team that they haven't been able to beat at all season. So if you wanted just another 3 days
right
of talking Heat basketball, and when you're talking Heat basketball, talking like as if, they have another game to play and they may be able to continue their season. But I think 90% of the Heat fans I know it was weird because Jax was saying, he was upset at listening to the host and people in this station. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, first of all,
I don't know if he said that. He said people with microphones that claim to be Heat fans. That's the exact.
So what do you think he's talking about?
I don't know. I was listening
because here's the thing. I would like, because if he's listening to the other station, any other station, that's bad by him.
No. So let me tell you, straight
right?
up. Yeah, straight up. I listened to the game, by the way. I listened to the game because I was out and about running around doing things. So I listened to a large part of the game, and it was a very fantastic broadcast. Then at the end, I heard Heat fans that behind microphones saying that they were hoping for a loss.
And I know he was talking about, well, I mean, I'm not a Heat.
I know he wasn't talking about me because I went on right before the pregame.
I think he was talking about Tobin.
Okay. And once again, I'm not naming names. I had to rethink. I was like, whoa. But I remember coming on saying, I think they're going to win both playing games. I hope they win both playing games, and I hope they go to Detroit. I want to see some more Heat action. I actually predicted them to win both play-in games, but they didn't. Nonetheless, but I do ask you this question, and once again, it's almost a rhetorical question, but we'll explain why. Was it much ado about nothing? The Heat got robbed. LaMelo Ball, dirty play. So the Heat, first of all, were the better team that night and probably should have won. Didn't go their way. But then you go play what was a very locked-in Magic team last night that was going to be hard to beat by any standard. And a team that, like you said, Vlad, swept the season series 5-0. So what? You go into that game and what happens there? Probably the same verdict.
I think
that would happen to the Hornets.
Dan, I think every outcome yesterday was going to happen.
Yeah,
predetermined. The home team is going to win and be the 8th seed.
Well, it feels like the Hornets and both Golden State Warriors, both losers yesterday, they used up all their bullets to get to that game.
Well, Golden State, definitely, because they were on the road. So for Golden State to go to LA and then go to Phoenix to win, that would have been difficult. But my Charlotte, you could tell that they were helped by the home crowd on Tuesday night, which propelled them to eke by the Heat.
They were helped by a couple of things.
I mean, they were helped by a lot, but the fact that they were home probably helped. A lot of good juju was going there.
Nope.
And but even with that, you're going to Friday's game against the Magic if you had beaten Charlotte,
which was a locked-in team.
And you could probably go into that game without Bam.
Right. Who has a bad tailbone, who we saw very gingerly walking up to the microphone
right.
at the exit interview.
So,
but nonetheless, let's say for some reason the Heat find a way to win these 2 games and get into a 7-game series against the number 1 seed Detroit Pistons.
They get swept.
Exactly. So, I mean, let's not go with it got robbed. Now,
They-
was it crazy? Was it dirty? Will we get into it? Absolutely.
Gentleman sweep, or that's it. They're not beating.
But
because
don't feel as though the season was stolen.
The season wasn't stolen because there was just too many flaws with this team for you to think that when they go into the playoffs against these better teams that have proven that they've been better against them the whole year, they're gonna do something. This is what I owe. And when we started this, right? It was pretty much right after the 23 run. Was it 23?
Yes.
That was the Denver. That was the playing team,
playing
right?
8 seed, beat the Milwaukee
Ever
Bucks.
since then, bro,
New
it
York
was
Knicks.
always that feels like, you know what, guys, your team is mid, but you got a guy when he decides that he wants to be the man, he can become the man, and everyone runs with him. But that was great in 23. After 23, you couldn't do the same thing, and they kept on doing the same thing, running it back with the same guys or similar guys. And I think after 4 years, and this is why I say the Heat and the Warriors, it's funny that they made the trade with each other with Jimmy because they're basically the similar team. They're both past their primes. Golden State.
Although Bam is in his prime.
Golden State's past their prime.
Yeah.
Bam is the
Still
only
good.
legit guy. Okay. You've tried it with Tyler for 6-7 years now. 6 years. It hasn't worked. You brought in Norman. Norman is a weird situation.
That is going to be strange.
Think about it, Dan. He had a great first half of the season, but it was also because Tyler wasn't playing.
He still played well when he got somewhat healthy towards the end of the season. He's a 24
He
guy.
wasn't healthy. That was the thing towards the end.
Right.
But there was a lot of things I looked at him kind of weird, like, oh wait, you were hurt. Then the All-Star game came, All-Star break came. You could have I know it's your first All-Star game and your first time All-Star selection. You decided to play the All-Star game, and then you missed like the next 5 games after the All-Star game.
All right.
So it was like, I get it. This is something you individually, it was an achievement. But if you're hurt, you're banged up. Hey, if you're that good, you can make the All-Star game again. If you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it. But for you to not play like 5 games prior to the All-Star break, play the All-Star game, and then miss the next 5, something was weird. And then the combination of Tyler and Norm never worked out. It just never worked out. And I don't want to hear, oh, we had time. No, I don't want to hear that because
it wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be.
No,
and here's the other thing, low key. What's going on with this team and the injuries over the last 3-4 years? Like, this is supposed to be the most fit, the less body fat, all that.
Hardest
and yet,
working.
hardest working, never give up. And yet, every year, significant players miss time.
Which leads me to my point, Vlad, is all the things you're saying is this. You look at these two teams that ended their season this week here in South Florida, the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat. With the Florida Panthers, I have answers. They get healthy. They get some time off. They get their mind right. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And Dan,
there's answers.
There is answers.
When it comes to the Miami Heat,
we have proof with the Panthers.
When it comes to the Miami Heat, I don't know what's wrong. Therefore, I can't diagnose the problem and give you answers. That's my biggest worry about the Miami Heat.
You hit the nail on the head, bro. At least with the Panthers,
you know the answers.
It was injuries.
You know the problems.
It was injuries, and it was the weirdest injuries.
What's wrong with the Heat?
It's a plethora of things. But it's a plethora of things.
You can't put your finger on what's wrong and how to fix it.
No, you're great point. At least with the Cats, it's one problem.
Easy.
They were hurt. And they had a long they've had 3 years of extended playing time. So therefore, you can understand.
You're in a well-lit room with the Florida Panthers. You're in a dark room with
right.
the Miami Heat. And you don't know what's in the room.
And you know the core that's coming back with the Panthers, which is the championship core.
You're not worried. There is no worry.
There's actually more excitement because you're like, they finally get months off. They finally get a rest. They've been going hardcore for the last 3 to 4 years. They get some time to rest, refresh, come back next season.
Simple as that.
What do you think the Miami Heat can do? Because guess what? We're in the same situation we've always been the last couple of years. Are we going to make a move? Are they going to go after a big whale? Is there an orca out there? Or every time it's been an orca or a rumor of a move to be made, it never gets made.
I just don't know the answer. Like, do you blow it up? Do you keep Bam and get rid of everybody? Do you keep Tyler? Do you keep Norman? Do you go after a John Morant? Do you go after a Giannis Antetokounmpo? Do you go after somebody else that's big?
And
I don't know.
And that's the problem, because back in the days, and this is what's time, it's evolution. Back in the days, it was pretty this way. Any disgruntled superstar, the first team that you always thought, oh, they'll be heading to Miami, because they'll get with Heat culture. They'll get under the tutelage of Riley and Spo, and they'll be a contributor to the team. Dude, over the last 5 years, every name player or every marquee player or star that you think is heading to Miami has not gone to Miami.
Also, straight up, this team is underperforming, and I don't know the reason why. Look, you got Bam Adebayo, one of the premier big men in the league. You've got Tyler Hero and Norm Powell, two guys that can get 20-plus points every single game. You got Davion Mitchell, who is a good defender and a point guard. You have got Jaime Jaquez Jr., who could be the 5th man of the year. We're listing all these reasons why this team should be better than they are. And for the past 3 years, they have not been anything but below average.
Mid. Now they're getting below mid.
So now you have to start worrying, what's going on? That's my biggest worry. I'm not worried about, all we have to do. There is no all we have to do. That's a definitive answer for the Miami Heat.
It could be a clash of thinking. Personnel decisions. The old guard is the old guard. They've established. They're legends.
But what is wrong with the Heat?
Maybe the old guard is old.
Once again, there's maybes. There's no, okay, there's an old guard. Or, okay, we don't play defense. Or, okay.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. It could be a myriad of things. And
I don't know. I feel like there's a clash. I think there might be a clash within the front office between the old guard and the young guy and the new I don't want to say new regime, but the young guard. How about that? I think, I don't know, maybe Mickey and Pat still got the old school thinking, especially Pat, and maybe Nick Harrison has a different thinking, and that's why there's been clashes, because you got to evolve with today's game, and I don't see the Heat evolving with today's game. I know offensively they were playing fast and everything like that. That was cool, but that doesn't last. That's not going to survive in this current NBA. You got to play with pace, but you can't put the pace that the Heat were doing, because you're going to get injured at the end of it, which was what happened to them.
The other thing I ask you this is, they talked about how the Heat kind of came close to landing Bam Adebayo, which would have meant a trade of Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, other players, whoever that may have been, and some draft swaps. Does this team become an automatic contender if that trade does get done?
No, that's the other thing. And that's the other thing.
We're sitting there like, all we got to do is land a whale. I don't think they're that much of a contender if they would have gotten Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Even
now, they would have been better.
But no,
wrong.
But then with what? Because you're going to have to give up a lot of the core of your team in order for you to get Giannis.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give up some good players that you, in your mindset, you're thinking, if I put Giannis with these players, we can contend. But if you sending these players out, Giannis is just basically going to the same situation, just a better city and weather.
Yeah, it's just
better city and weather.
As a Heat fan, do you feel as though if that trade would have been made, and let's just say the Heat get lucky, and I don't know, instead of Jaime Jaquez Jr. being the unnamed player, it was Nikola Jovic. Do you think with Jaime Jaquez Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam Adebayo, Davion Mitchell, and Pelle Larsson, you're gonna be a playoff championship contender? I don't know about that. And I don't even know how Giannis and Bam Adebayo fit together.
Hey, here's the other fam. We're talking here. He's 31. There's a lot of there's been a lot of injuries over the last 4 or 5 years with Giannis. Calf strains, this, that, the other. Like, those are the type of things for a guy who plays as aggressive and hard. If those little injuries are mounting up and taking time and taking his playing time, taking away from the game, you don't want to be trading for damaged goods. I know it's crazy. It's like, oh, I know it's Giannis, but here's the other thing, fam. Other than that NBA title run,
that one run, he has been
first round and
fizzle.
First round and out.
He has been very fizzle in the playoffs.
First round and out a lot.
Fizzle. So I'm going to keep asking questions because, once again, I'm being honest. I have a lot of questions about the Heat.
Well, I mean,
if we do another year, whatever formula we use, if we do another year where we land exactly where we landed this year next year, is it time to start being like, hey, there might be some fundamental problems? We might start saying, okay, maybe it's not all the players, maybe. And I know it's sacrilege,
but here's the problem.
To start being like, okay, maybe we need to bring in some new blood to help some of the old.
Oh, no, you definitely need new blood. But here's the thing. The old man ain't getting younger.
But you know what I mean?
So, I mean, in all reality, I think you guys need to do I know it's crazy. But like, oh, I can't believe that people on the mic are saying this. You might have to do a whitewash.
See, I was more suggesting that we bring in younger blood to help the blue bloods navigate a little bit more.
Okay, you've been trying to get younger bloods, and that hasn't helped. That you've not been able to make the move. You haven't been able to pull the trigger. So what is it? I mean, get the young blood. We tried. We said Zion, right? Okay, cool.
Zion said he loves New Orleans. He lives there.
Ja?
Joe Dumars.
Do you want to take a risk with Ja?
I would take, at this point, yes.
Okay, that's young blood.
I would definitely take a risk with Ja.
Cool. Giannis is what, 31, about to be 32.
I think most Heat fans are kind of
they'll take him because of the I think they will because of the name. The name, but what else you're going to put around them? That's the thing. They stuck. Unless they change their philosophy, or implementing newer philosophies with Heat culture, they're going to be stuck the same way they are.
Once again, Vlad, I don't know the answers. There is no what's wrong with this team. I don't know. How do you fix it? Well, if you don't know what's wrong, I don't know how to fix it.
Here's the thing. In order for you to, to get ass, you got to show ass. In order for you to get something, you're going to have to give up your biggest piece. So you might have to give up Bam. And I know that's, that to me, that's sacrilege. I don't think you should let Bam go. But not right now. He's the face of your franchise. He's been there with you for the longest. So he's actually showing improvement.
He had his best
in
my opinion.
In his game, and he's entering his prime. So he doesn't want to waste his prime on Playinville. And that's the other thing. It's like, okay, we're not going to get a Playinville. You're not even, for the last 4 seasons, you haven't been a top 6 team. A top 6 team in the East. That's all you got to do. Be a top 6 team. Everybody goes through injuries.
Yeah, and you're going to. I don't want to hear this. All we got to do is get healthy. No, no one is ever going to be healthy. Not in today's day and age.
So, yeah, we can't play this game with an arcade mode. No simulation. No, it doesn't happen like that.
So it's just so strange that you have the Panthers on one side where definitive problem, definitive answer, definite message going
in all
forward.
Fairness, the Panthers have won, and they've won. So one bad year when you could say, and here's the other thing. The other thing about the Panthers, even with the young guys that were playing, they were still competing towards the end of the season. Like, they were winning games to the point where we're like, hey,
darn near lost us a draft pick.
Yeah, you might not want to continue winning.
Once again, Panthers don't care.
They don't care. They got a philosophy. They got a culture, a Panthers culture that everybody's buying into. I don't know if everybody's buying into Heat culture right now, at least the players that are coming in. I don't know.
It does seem as though they don't have, and of course, when you've been in the play-in for the past 3 or 4 years, they don't have the same swagger and the same type of confidence and bravado that they've had in the past. I don't know.
And then I've heard people say maybe it's time for Spo to move up. Maybe they should do what the Boston Celtics do. And here's the thinking. That might be cool, but it's the same thinking anyway. I really do feel, as crazy as it is, you may need to go outside of the culture just to implement new philosophies, new ideas, new blood.
This sounds weird, but maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think Spo's still one of the best coaches in the game. I still think Pat Riley's one of the best administrators in the game. I just think the game has changed. It's not this anymore. Like,
but then wait a minute,
I'm a big time free agent. I'm only going to New York, LA, or Miami.
So then why aren't they evolving with the game?
I think they are. It's just the player and the attitude has evolved to where, like guys like LeBron, although he did go back to Cleveland, but that's where he's from. Like back in the day, when you were a big time free agent like Shaquille O'Neal, you ain't going nowhere but somewhere that you big time that you want to go. Nowadays, it's like, I got a super max here. I'm going to stay here and do this.
But then all you doing is like short gaps, bro. Think about it. You get Bron was here for 4 years. You get Shaq was what, 3-4 years? Like you're just getting Jimmy 5 years.
Just a team that has the firepower that they had this year should have done better. That's a problem. Whether it's the players,
They
whether
should
it's
have
the
been,
coaches,
but again, the
they
team
should have been a top 6 seed.
Yeah, but then the teams they were supposed to, they couldn't beat Orlando. They couldn't beat Toronto.
Nope.
Okay.
And that Toronto series was the most demoralizing because they went into those 2 games in Toronto with everything to play for, and they were not really ever.
You can't beat Boston. You did beat the Knicks, but that was like early in the season, like the 3rd game of the season. You beat the Knicks in your home opener. And then,
they did win some games against Oklahoma City and Detroit, but this is the NBA. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
But then that's the thing. During the season when they got to the hardest season, or you saw them that they played, they beat OKC, they beat Denver.
They did beat Denver.
Yeah, they did beat Denver, where Jokic got hurt, but in the first half he had a triple-double. So, yeah, it's just been up and down with this team for the last 4 seasons, and the fan base is tired because they just don't see it. It's just they don't want to see anymore. Oh, we got what's his name? Kendrick Nuns and the Max Strus and the Gabe Vincent. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool if they're the 8th or 9th guy on a team with an established 7. It's not good when they're part of your established 7.
It's time. I mean, there's a lot of questions. There are a lot of answers that need to be made, and they need to figure it out. It's not up to me to figure it out because I can't figure it out, and apparently they can't figure it out either. So this is an offseason where they're going to need to figure out what their problem is first, and then the solution to that problem. Vladimir and I are going to be with you till about 3:30 today Eastern Time, 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time, depending on where you're listening. And we are going to lead you into the Marlins-Brewers game as the Marlins try to get a win. We're going to come up next, get you caught up with everything happening in and around the sports world. This is Sports Day on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line at 305-567.
Little afternoon action here on 104.3 FM WQAM. This is Sports Day. I am Dan Day along with my cousin Vladimir Lewis. We're going to take you up to 3:30 before the Marlins Brewers game. We got to get into a lot of different stuff. We talked about the Heat's woes, and the biggest woe is that I don't know exactly what the problem is and how to solve it. Florida Panthers, simple solution: rest. And they'll be all right next year. Actually, the rest of the league better try to get their championship in right now, because next year Florida Panthers are coming for you. But the Heat, I don't exactly know what the problem is, and if I don't know what the problem is, I do not know the solution. So we're going to try to figure that out as the day goes on. The Dolphins knew what the problem was. It was basically everything from the ground up. So what Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Havley are doing is saying, you know what, tear it down to the studs. Let's rebuild this. Jon-Eric Sullivan spoke with the media earlier this week. We're going to hear from him later this hour. We're also going to get into the LaMelo Ball, Bam Adebayo situation. Was it dirty? Was it not dirty? Did it cost the Heat anything important? Did it not cost anything important? Is LaMelo Ball a bum? We'll talk about all that. Is Bam Adebayo going to be okay? Of course. And of course, get ready for some Marlins and Brewers action. Let's get into some headlines real quick. Orlando did steamroll the Charlotte Hornets 129-90. It was about that close the whole game. Phoenix down Golden State 111-96. Both teams advance as the AC in their respective conferences. Did you see the foolishness at the end of the Golden State Phoenix game? Draymond Green started talking some noise. Devin Booker started talking back to him, and they kicked both of them out the game with a minute left. It was meaningless time in game time. And then Draymond being Draymond, cheering to the crowd, come on, come on. And I would say the act is getting old, but it was really unnecessary. Once again, you didn't even see it. You don't even care.
No, because I saw I saw it in the clips, but I think they was just showing while Steve Kerr was talking, because everybody's talking about is this it for him? Remember, what's the key? One of the key terms of our show: expiration date.
There is definitely an expiration date in Golden State. It had come,
and I've said the same. The Heat and the Warriors remind me of the same team. Both of them, you expect a lot from them. They disappoint you, but because of their pedigree, you think as long as they're in the playoff, as long as they're in the postseason, they can make something happen, and then nothing happens. They may give you a glimpse.
Question: was Pat Riley right about Jimmy Butler? Time has told us yes.
Yeah, but they were going to keep him anyway. If he played by their rules, he would have been kept. They would have kept him, and they would still be in the same situation they would be in now. So whether they had Jimmy or not, they'll be stuck in the same situation. Yeah,
but Pat Riley did jettison Jimmy Butler with the trade, and
he jettisoned Jimmy because Jimmy wanted to get paid, and he didn't get the. And
well, that's part of it.
Well, no, Riles would have paid him if Jimmy played. Basically, if Jimmy played and was successful, he would have been paid.
Yeah.
Jimmy wanted a guarantee now. Both parties got what they want, but guess what? Both parties are stuck in the same situation.
But don't you feel as though the Golden State Warriors are like, man, we paid a whole lot for this?
I mean, what are they going to say? Did they get to what did they get? Did they get to the first round? They got to the second round last year?
Yeah, they got to the second round last year.
Right. So
that's when Jimmy had to be the man, and Jimmy was not the man.
So then, therefore, their thinking is, okay, well, Steph would have been healthy. Steph got hurt again and missed the last 2 months of the season. So basically, guess what? What's been the key down? What's been cause of their downfall?
Hearing that, because nobody says that about the Boston Celtics this year.
No, because
Jason Tatum was down.
Because guess what?
Not an excuse.
Not
an excuse.
They're the op, but guess what? They don't make excuses.
But have you noticed that? Not an excuse that Jason Tatum was hurt all season long.
Not even all season long. He tore his freaking Achilles, right?
Came back early. Or was it ACL Achilles?
I think it was like a whole combination. It was bad. It was bad.
I want to say it was an ACL. Achilles, that's a quick turnaround for an Achilles.
It
was a quick turnaround for an ACL. Don't get me wrong. But that's the thing. Oh, we got hurt. It's always an excuse when you don't do good. But if you do over succeed due to some injuries, that's never an excuse. Like, well, that's just our attitude. Next man up.
So no, it was he ruptured his right Achilles tendon.
Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Modern medicine. Wow.
I guess it wasn't that much a bad rupture, or maybe they got to it quickly, right. And he, people have different bodies, different frames, so therefore maybe he was able to heal a little bit quicker. But They didn't make excuses while everybody thought they were going to be
this was the
middle
year
of the pack.
No, this is the year to get a draft pick and then wait till
No,
we get back.
Jaylen Brown was like, no, I'm a stud. I'm an former NBA Finals MVP. I'm a former Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I'm going to carry this team. The East is not that great. I can lead this team to be a top 6 seed. And guess what? He led them to be better than a top 6 seed. They had the second best record in the East, and they're the Eastern Conference favorites right now.
Yep. Injuries weren't an excuse for them. It's all about how things go. The NBA playoffs do begin today, Vlad, in just a couple of minutes. Yeah, we're about to get the Raptors and the Cavs. That's an interesting one because Brandon Ingram can go out there and get you some buckets. And we know in the playoffs, it's all about stars.
Since Turner's not doing the playoffs anymore, it's a whole different group of people. NBC, Peacock,
Prime has been all over it.
And obviously ESPN, Disney. This Toronto Raptors Cleveland Cavaliers series is definitely 7 games of NBA TV.
And that's why it's a 4-5.
Yeah. No, it's 7 games of NBA TV. Like, this game should not even get like major network. Nobody gives a rat's ass about Cleveland versus Toronto. I'm gonna gamble.
I love Brandon Ingram and the Raptors.
Okay. Well, you and Glorilla.
That's me and Glorilla courtside, cheering them on. At 3:30, you get the Timberwolves and the Nuggets.
The series.
A lot of people say, watch out. The Timberwolves have been feisty these past couple of years getting to the Western Conference Finals, but the Nuggets, they got that guy. The guy that does unprecedented things. Jokic.
This is a time to see Ant-Man. You always do these things in the first 2 rounds of the playoff where you look like the face of USA basketball, maybe the future face of the league. You look like you can be that guy. And everybody kind of wants you to be that guy because you have an aura about yourself. But I need to see an NBA Finals out of you soon. Like it's in these Western Conference Finals, it's almost like you're reaching your limit, your peak. You've reached your ceiling with the Timberwolves, and it's gonna get to the point where you're about to enter the prime of your career. Do you still want to stay in Minnesota, or is it time for you to take your talents elsewhere, whether South Beach, New York, Los Angeles, Houston,
New Orleans,
or back home in the ATL? I know you said New Orleans, but he'd probably go back home in Atlanta. Because I'll tell you right now, you put him in Atlanta. Atlanta's an NBA title favorite.
That's not my most interesting storyline from this series. My most interesting storyline is this.
What's up?
A couple of years ago, you went and gave up a boatload of draft picks to get one Defensive Player of the Year, multi-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert.
And they got to the West
for a series just like this.
And they've won that.
Once again, you're right.
They've won those times. I think they've won it a couple times.
They beat the Nuggets a couple times.
Yeah.
But is this one of those series? This is why you got Rudy Gobert. And you can argue all this.
If this is my 3rd time going against you and I've beaten you 2 times, if I lose to you a 3rd time, this can't be on like, Rudy. Nah, I'm not doing that.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. But if the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets for the 3rd time in the playoffs in the past, I want to say 3 years.
I felt like it's been like 3 or 4 years they beat.
Then you can justify saying, we might have given up a lot of picks for Rudy Gobert. And you might think Rudy Gobert, say what you want. But this is the reason we got him. And he is doing exactly why we got him.
Yes. Listen. I know with the Knicks, but you could use the Knicks as an example of the same thing. They traded 5 picks to get Mikal Bridges. Guess what? Mikal Bridges has been available, and he was a vital part in the Knicks getting to the Eastern Conference Finals last season. If he gets the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, the Knicks get there, that trade was well worth it.
It's justified, yeah.
It's justified. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain trades that are justified when you separate from a player, and it actually makes the team better. Look at the Atlanta Hawks. They traded their best player, Trae Young. It's helped the team.
That's the thing. We're so quick to try to plus or minus these trades. But sometimes you got to let them cook a little bit. We'll see. The Knicks and the Hawks, they do get underway at 6 o'clock today. And then tonight at 8:30, the Lakers versus the Rockets. And it's the question of, do you get the good Lakers or do you get the bad Lakers?
No. Well, I mean, the question is, can Bron save? That's the question. It's not about good or bad Lakers. It's not really any Lakers other than Bron.
Sometimes the Lakers come out and they just, man.
Right. When healthy, when fully healthy, they look like
there's times that they can compete.
When healthy.
Right.
They're not healthy right now. They're 2 of their 3 best players is hurt.
And Luka Doncic. Although Kevin Durant is questionable for the game also.
Really? Why?
Because the injury, let's see. Kevin Durant says questionable for. Well, it was up here just a minute ago. I don't know. Current future.
Nappy hair?
No, not nappy hair. Not BB shot haircuts and stuff like that. Let's see.
Allergic to brush? Is that why?
His knee. His knee is the reason he's questionable.
Okay.
So, yeah, there you go. Questionable with the knee. Okay, now if you want some hockey on the ice, the NHL playoffs begin day 3:00. Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes. A lot of people saying this is the Hurricanes' year. They don't have to worry about the Panthers.
Oh man, a lot of teams are happy in the Eastern Conference that they don't got to face the Panthers.
5:30. Edmonton Oilers are excited too in the West. 5:30. It's the Minnesota Wild versus the Dallas Stars, and at 8:00, the Philadelphia Flyers. Welcome back to the playoffs, Trevor, versus the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Man. Shout out to our boy Trevor and his Flyers making it to the Eastern Conference.
He was a Panthers fan for the first couple of years he was down.
Well, he's always been a diehard. Look, I'm a diehard Rangers fan, but I'm a Panther fan as well.
Marlins fell to the Brewers 7-5 in 10 innings yesterday. Came
rough.
back, and then to play again today at 4:10. Sandy Alcantara will take the mound. Former Bills rusher AJ Epinesa, he visited the Dolphins facility earlier this week. Of course, the draft begins Thursday night. Canes football team had their spring game earlier today. Recruit Mason Johnson Cook is on campus. Now, you know Mason Johnson Cook. He's a running back, one of the top 100 recruits in the nation, and he comes out of the east side of St. Louis, East St. Louis, Illinois, East Side High. So hopefully they can get him locked in. Canes baseball team picked up a 6-3 win over Stanford last night to play again today at 5:00 over on the left coast. Norman Powell asked about his free agency future. You know what he said? Oh, not sure. Which is probably the prudent thing to say. So, yeah. U.S. women's national team, they defeated Japan 3-0 in an international friendly. And on a related note, and this is not, I'm kind of sad to hear
Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird breaking up?
Yeah, former U.S. women's national team player Megan Rapinoe.
Finally. Damn, I've been trying to get that Sue Bird for the longest.
WNBA legend from the Seattle Storm, Sue Bird.
Sue Bird's the best.
Have filed for divorce. It happens.
Top 5 UConn Husky of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they've had some, man.
I mean, they've had some. That's an understatement. Yeah, Sue Bird. Unfortunate, Thoughts and prayers with everyone involved.
That's an interesting way to put it. Divorce, thoughts and prayers. Nobody died except the relationship.
No, I mean, their relationship. I mean, there's got to be some sadness to it.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, thoughts and prayers.
I doubt they're out clubbing in. Well, I'm trying to think somewhere in Seattle. That would be at the Sports Bra.
Well, I mean, she's a New Yorker.
Okay.
She's from Connecticut. So.
I was throwing out the first female sports bar in America, the Sports Bra.
Did you go to that?
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah. Is that where you watched the week 1 of the NFL season or no?
I don't know. I don't know what I was watching, but they double charged me. That was the place I had to get my money back to.
Well, yeah.
It happened, but they gave it back to me, so it's all good. All good. We got to do transition into some Dolphins action because the Dolphins actually, oddly enough, do have a very big week. A lot going on with them. Jon-Eric Sullivan, our new general manager, or I guess the newer general manager. He's not new anymore. He's our general manager for the Dolphins. He spoke first about some of the behind-the-scenes action going on with the Miami Dolphins, then about the draft. We'll get into that over the next 45 minutes right here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore
Radio or TuneIn apps. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Go for it.
We are literally taking a break from the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat, not just on this show, but kind of in our lives. Their season ended this week. Both of them, one of them unceremoniously, one kind of weird. But it is time also to focus on the Dolphins, because when an end starts, or when an end happens, a new beginning starts. And the Miami Dolphins are definitely starting over from scratch. I was thinking about this the other day, Vlad. The only surefire positions we have on this team right now: quarterback Malik Willis, Patrick Paul on the offensive line, Jordan Brooks, Zach Sealer, Greg Dulcich. That's a lot going on. But Jon-Eric Sullivan gave us a little more clarity on who the pillars of this team are. Earlier this week, there's been some talk, and we've even said, well, if they've gotten rid of pretty much everybody, there's no sacred cows on this team. One, Devon Achane, who has been sitting in at practice. A lot of people thinking, oh, he's going to sit in the whole time. There's not going to be any contract work. He's going to end up showing up week one. Or after the draft, they might get a guy they like and decide Devon Achane is tradable. Well, Jon-Eric Sullivan came out and made it very clear, Devon Achane, he is not being traded.
He's not available for trade. And they are things are going good. You know, we've had some positive conversations over the last couple of days, trending in the right direction. You know, he's obviously very important to what we're doing, and it's all part of it. It's part of professional sports. We'll get where we need to be one way or the other, but yeah, things are trending in the right direction.
Whew, okay, breathe easy if you're a Devon Achane and Dolphins fan, because in past organizations and past regimes, I would have said, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. This organization and this regime has shown you that if they say something, they're pretty much going to do it. So, Vlad, I take Jon-Eric Sullivan on his word. Devon Achane, they're going to find a way in some way, shape, or form to have him on the team this year, and most likely under an extension.
Until a better offer is presented to them and they'll say, well, this is an offer we can't refuse. I don't trust anything that anybody says this week leading up to the draft.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So you could tell me that you're not trading anybody. That's BS to me.
I don't know, though.
Because if somebody comes to you and offers you a deal that you can't refuse, guess what? Number 28 is traded.
Just replay the very beginning of that clip. He didn't even mince his words. Jon-Eric Sullivan literally asked, are you going to trade Devon Achane? And Jon-Eric Sullivan definitively says
he's not available for trade.
There you go.
He also said that about Jalen Waddle.
He said Jalen Waddle not available for trade?
He said that they weren't trying to trade Jalen Waddle a couple of months ago. And
I will say this.
Jalen Waddle was traded.
A couple of months ago, they did say everybody is tradable on this team at any time.
So basically, they're saying a lot of things so they can go back and say, well, we did say in our first press conferences that everybody's tradable.
If you do remember.
If there's a deal that is complimentary to us and helps our team, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to breathe easy and say Devon Achane, not only is he not going to get traded, they're going to find a way to get him some type of an extension and get him on the field. If I were Devon Achane, though, I would not start practicing until that ink has dried.
No, he's not.
No, I'm just saying, don't take their word for it. Like, we got you,
he's
man.
Not. The fact that, and then everybody was, he was there, this past week at, what was it, the mandatory OTA or something like to that effect, and he was there. So, yeah, that's cool. That's nice. But there's still 5 more days till the draft, right? It's Thursday. So, yeah, it'll be 5 days. So, anything can happen. There will be an offer if a team wants Devon Achane and the Dolphins tell them what they want and the team is willing to give them what they want, Devon Achane is being traded.
But I'm more confident that he will not be.
Cap for Life said it great today. Said it right. What's the final song of what we play when we're about to end the show?
Yesterday's price, not today's price.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, Jon-Eric Sullivan says Malik Willis, Devon Achane, they're pillars of this team. Also, Aaron Brewer, Jordan Brooks, pillars of this team. And he gave us a little update on the negotiations with those two guys.
Yeah, that'll work itself out. I mean, they know where they stand. We've had conversations. They know how important they are to this team and where we are with them. The timing of that'll work itself out. There's nothing pressing for us to get something done, in the next couple of days.
That's a little worry. Like no timeline, meaning if the phone rings, there's no pen to paper. Nonetheless, I do believe that Jon-Eric Sullivan, and Jeff Hafley, they do want a certain amount of stability on this team with Malik Willis, Devon Achane, not Greg Dulcich, but you know what I mean. Jordan Brooks, Aaron Brewer. They do want those guys. They've said those are their guys. So I do believe those guys are going to be on the team. He says, don't worry about it. We're working out the negotiations. That's just the way this league works. Vlad, as a Dolphins fan, I'm cool with it. And I know yesterday's price, not today's price. And you got to pick up the phone no matter what every time they call, because there could be a call that's worth it. But I really do believe that they've decided, they put their foot down. They've drawn a line in the sand and said, these are the guys that we're putting as our pillars.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I ain't drafting on these guys.
Well, Malik Willis is going to be here.
I'm sure. Other than Malik's the only guy that I trust.
Because he's their guy, too.
Because he's he knows the foundation that I'm trying to set here. So, yeah, that's my guy. So that's the only guy that's a given. Other than that, nobody else is a given. I didn't draft these guys. I don't know these bums.
That's true.
Not calling. I'm just saying, not that he's saying them, but I don't know these guys. He's not calling them bums. So let me take that back. But I don't know these men. I've seen them in film. I've talked to them, but if there's an offer from other teams that I can't say no to, I think the Miami Dolphins would trade certain players. And I think they want to, because they want to get as many draft picks as they can, because this year and next year's draft is supposed to be loaded.
And it's not just that. They do want to start over new. They want to start off with their guys. They want to cook with their groceries, and that's understandable. And how are you going to do that with other players from other regimes? You got to get your own guys in and kind of build the team the way you want to build it. So it does make sense that they would want as much draft capital as possible. But at the same time, they do understand that you do have to have some stability in the team, and it can't just be all rookies and free agents that you bring in. It can't be a totally new team. And these are some high character guys. Devon Achane, Aaron Brewer, Jordan Brooks. These are high character guys that also play at a very high level, by the way. Pretty much all pro.
They did. Especially Aaron.
He's kind of the leader of the team.
He might be the best center in the game.
Probably the leader of this team, too.
Who, Aaron Brewer?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I think so.
Really?
From what I understand, yes. He's one of the guys that's in there all the time, pushing people, being the voice, making sure people are in as much line as possible.
I thought Mr. Brooks would probably be. He's like the voice of the team on the defensive end.
Another reason to keep him.
But are they your guys, though?
They are not your guys. That is a problem.
You could be a great leader, but if you're not my guy.
From a regime that wants their guys.
Yeah.
It's made very clear.
It's not their guys. So therefore, no, listen, I thought Mr. Brooks was the voice of the team last year, him and Bradley Chubb, because you can go to them and they're going to respond. You ask them any question, they're going to give you a response. So I can understand bringing him back, give him an extension. And Mr. Brewer, you've been the best to me, you've definitely been the best O-lineman that the Dolphins have had over the last 2 years, maybe since Robert Hunt.
Yes.
So it'd be very interesting to see if they should bring both of them back. But if one of them or both of them are not back, then you see what's going on. You see, I've been saying this word, a whitewash.
Yeah, and they've also said, I don't know, I just feel as though they're going to use what little cap space they have to get these guys signed, because they've said they're not going to make this huge splash. They don't have any room to make a huge splash. So I feel as though I feel right now that those guys are pretty safe. Little Devon Achane, a little less safer than Aaron Brewer and Jordan Brooks.
It's Aaron, right? Not Aaron. It's Aaron.
Aaron Brewer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. I feel safe with them. You also got to be feeling safe because Jon-Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley, they say it's their show, but they're not opposed to getting a little help from some friends like Dan Marino and Troy Aikman.
He will not be consulted for picks. He may be in the draft room. I can't say enough good things about Troy, and quite frankly, Dan for that matter as well. Both, Dan's been here, Dan's been in the room. Dan has been a tremendous sounding board for us. We've had a lot of fun together. He's fun. I love Dan. He's been especially helpful for me with quarterbacks and receivers. I don't need to expound upon that. You guys can understand why there. And Troy's been a wonderful sounding board in his own right from afar. Troy will be part of the equation moving forward. What that looks like, we'll see. But he's been a great sounding board, and I'm glad he's going to be part of the equation. And, I assume I know he'll be here. He's certainly welcome in the draft room.
So I'm all for Dan Marino and Troy Aikman being involved, but if they're going to be a great sounding board, why wouldn't they be somewhat involved in the draft?
Troy can't.
Oh, he can't because of his
Yes.
commitments to.
I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't know clearly, but I would think if they're saying that he can't be involved because you're working.
But he'll be in the draft room.
Yeah.
He's not going to be involved.
That's weird. That's weird. Let me tell you this right now. Over the last couple of weeks with the NFL, and it's kind of weird with the in and outing of the in and outs of the NFL behind the scenes. Like what's good, what's bad. You can't have a relationship with a colleague or somebody that you're covering. You might lose your job.
Well, that's journalism.
And then you might save some old man and a dog from a car crash. And then now I can call games. I could be inside. I can help select the general manager and head coach for a team. I could be in the draft room, but I can't help with the draft.
Which doesn't make sense because if you said they're a sounding board. Now, first of all, let's get this out of the way. I think having Dan Marino and Troy Aikman involved and being a sounding board is the right thing to do. I think it's fantastic. I think it helps this Dolphins organization. But I don't understand how, of course, Dan Marino, once again, he can do whatever he wants because he's part of the team. But Troy Aikman, if you're a sounding board, wouldn't you go there and say, how do you feel about this guy? What do you think about this? How do you feel as though maybe we should draft a corner or maybe we should draft a wide receiver
what if
at number
Aikman's
11?
I like that old lineman from Penn State. What if he said something like that? Or I like Jordan Tyson from Arizona.
Should we take Jordan Tyson at number 11? Would you think a receiver would be a good choice? They can't.
Monsieur Delaney is a great corner.
I can't do. I can't talk about this. I can't do that. But I'll be in the draft room.
And the other flip to that is how many games has Troy Aikman actually watched to be able to scout? I mean, usually he's doing the NFL. So
and I think that's the reason why he's also saying he's not going to be a part of the draft. And the main reason is this, because also Jon-Eric Sullivan will hear in the next segment, because the next segment's all going to be about the draft, is that he wants everyone to know it's his draft. The buck stops here. It's not me listening to Stephen Ross. It's not me listening to Dan Marino. It's me.
Our listeners on YouTube and Twitch, like Cat for Life said, at least one thing for sure, Sully's not a yes man. So this is his.
No, he says, if it goes great, it's me. If it goes bad, it's me.
This is all on him.
Yep.
So
no excuses.
And the fact of the matter is, I like the way he talks. The way he talks and answers questions, he lets you know I'm running the ship.
And look, this draft is vital to this Miami Dolphins future. You have a lot of draft picks, and you have to hit on these draft picks because you are rebuilding this thing from the ground up, and there's no way you can do that with a bunch of okay guys. You have to get good players that contribute and make a difference, especially since they are your guys. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to hear from Jon-Eric Sullivan, talking about his draft process and what we can expect from this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the NFL Draft. This is Sports Day on 104.3 FM WQAM.
How would you like
Chatham.
Right here on the Q, baby.
Catch us on FM 104.3 or listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Don't miss a thing.
This year's Miami Dolphins draft, which starts on Thursday, by the way, and goes into the weekend, is a vital one for the future of this Miami Dolphins organization. Luckily, the guy at the helm, Jon-Eric Sullivan, our general manager, is known for finding good draft picks, finding good guys and draft them in the right place and put them in the right position. But nonetheless, with 7 picks in the first 94 picks, Miami Dolphins must hit on these picks if they want the health of this organization and this team to be where we want it to be. That makes it all that much more important. Jon-Eric Sullivan and those guys get it done right. And if you're a Dolphins fan, Vlad, and you're a little bit nervous, Jon-Eric Sullivan, he said, don't worry, baby. Stay calm.
I think when you're prepared, there's a calm that comes with that, so excited for sure. But I think the first thing before I even get going, I think the appropriate thing to do and the right thing to do is just thank all the people that have been involved in this process. Obviously, our scouts, our coaches, but it goes so much deeper than that. You got the medical team, you got the video that supplies all the tape. We have our analytics department, so on and so forth. Our security team that does all the security checks and the background checks. So many people involved that work so hard to get us to a place where we can make a responsible decision on a player. I'd be remiss if I didn't publicly thank everybody for that.
So Jon-Eric Sullivan is known for his draft prowess, but this is the thing. If you're sitting there like, oh man, they've really done a whole lot of work and they're really working hard at this, but I can tell you every other team in the league is doing exactly that, doing as much due diligence as possible. So you just hope Jon-Eric Sullivan is a little better at his job than some of these other guys and girls who are involved.
I hope so too.
You do have to hope right now because this is a big time draft for the Miami Dolphins. This is them tearing it down to the ground and rebuilding from the foundation up. And if you don't have a good foundation, which is, they pretty much said it's eggs in the basket of the draft, you are going to be in some deep trouble if you miss on this draft. We're talking about big trouble. We're talking about
if you missing this year's draft?
We're talking about 2-3 wins type of trouble.
If you missing this year's draft?
If you missing this year's draft.
Well, if you get 2-3 wins this season, that means you're going to have a good draft pick next year.
I understand that.
And next year, it's kind of hard for you to miss on some of these picks next year.
If you have a bad draft this year,
you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
Time.
You're right. No, you can't fail. You can't fail at 11. And if you are drafting at 30, you got to hit. Or if you're trading down to get more picks, that's not bad. But make sure that you're getting quality with that quantity.
That is the popular opinion. We're seeing this all over ESPN, is that it looks like the Miami Dolphins are in the business of trading down, not up. Jon-Eric Sullivan talked about, you're probably right. More likely to trade down.
I'm always going to pick up the phone. I think it probably is fair to say more likely to move back than move up. I think we need all 11 picks, but you never say never. And I'm always, whether you're talking about going up or down, I'm gonna pick up the phone and listen to what's being said on the other side of it. But until we get, I don't love playing on the phone the week of the draft. Like if it's a real conversation, let's talk. But a lot of people over the next 10 days just like to call, and conversations aren't really of much substance. Hey, you want to go up? You want to go down? Sure. Let's talk on draft day.
All right. So Jon-Eric Sullivan making it pretty clear that this team is willing to most likely trade down. And Vlad, we've talked about this even. Not only are they probably willing to trade down, they're willing to trade down from picks next year, which would probably make a little more sense than trading down and getting more picks this year.
Fam. 2027's draft is like Christmas. Like you're waiting for Christmas.
I'm not even worried about the talent in that. It's just that this is a year, let's be honest, it's going to have its challenges.
Of course, I expect 4 wins this season. So if they're lucky.
Okay. So if you're planning on there being a challenging season, I'm going to use my words very precisely right here. If you're planning on being a challenging season, that means you'll probably have some pretty good draft picks next year. Now, if you use some of your capital this year, trade back, and instead of using the trade back for whatever you get this year to next year, that means next year, all your eggs are in one big basket.
Well, that's what usually happens, yeah.
Yeah.
You're setting it up. You're trying to set the foundation, the new foundation, because this is, like we said, this is a whole new regime, for lack of a better term. It's a new group, so they got to establish. They got to show what they're about. So this is a show and prove year. They're gonna show what they're trying to establish, what the new Miami Dolphins culture will be, and once players, agents, everybody around the NFL, once they see what Halfley and Sully are doing, then they'll start thinking, okay, maybe this is what I want to be down with. This is what I want to be a part of. And they all watch games. So if they see a lot of good young talent with the team, that might lead a vet who's put it this way. If the Dolphins win 4 or 5 games this upcoming season, but they're close games and they're competing, and you see that they have a culture that they're set forth, then though, when they went after the Calais Campbells, those type of players, those type of free agents, those are the type of players that will come and help and be a part of the team. So get draft picks, get out of the Tua contract, because you're paying $53 million this year. You don't have to pay any, you're not paying as much next season.
Right.
I think you're only paying like 20 next year, maybe, if even. So therefore, you don't have the salary cap
handcuffs.
You
have a lot of draft picks galore, and probably high good draft picks, because the season is going to be challenging.
And guess what's else? You know what is going to happen every year? The salary cap goes up,
and you're going to get some salary cap relief.
So you get salary cap relief. Salary cap goes up.
You have grace this season.
You have grace. You're still one of the franchises that the players love. So if the Dolphins are doing good and they start progressing upwards, then players will want to come to Miami. Obviously, no state tax, living in this great weather and everything like that. And then the buzz will come back. There'll be a new buzz happening for the Dolphins.
So Jon-Eric Sullivan more likely to trade back, but we're saying maybe he should not just trade back.
Oh my God, it's 48 next year. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought it was like 20. Sorry, damn. But geez,
but not just trade back, but use some of that trading back for next year, as opposed to just trading back for this year.
Give me picks for this next year, bro.
Because like we said, salary cap will be higher. You have a grace year. You're going to have a challenging year. You're probably going to have high picks next year. If you have a bevy of other picks that you have delayed since this year because of trading back, that would seem like the right situation. Yeah.
Damn, Dad.
I understand.
Dude, 99 million. I thought, oh man. So 2051. Oh, it's 51 point something this year, and then like 47 point something next year. Yikes. Yeah, I stuck like Chuck, bro. Damn.
Well, part of our problem is that we went out there and we paid a lot of injured players, and that's what's got me scared, and a lot of Dolphins fans scared, that the Dolphins hopefully do not make the same mistakes of the past in going after players that have an injury history. We have seen on some of the draft boards that the Dolphins at 11 could pick cornerback out of the University of Tennessee, Jermod McCoy, who did not play this past season due to an ACL injury. Jon-Eric Sullivan asked about, do college injuries weigh in on your decision?
Every situation is different. There's not like a blanket philosophy. I mean, you certainly look at the injury history and the frequency and the significance of the injuries. It plays a part, but we have a medical team that's second to none, and they give us great direction with that stuff. So every situation, every player is different with that. Yes, we take it into the equation, but it doesn't always weigh the same, if that makes sense to you.
No, that doesn't make sense to me. For so long, we've taken guys that have injury issues, injury pasts, and said, oh, it'll be fine, it'll be okay. And it didn't work out. That's why I get so, chills, not the good way, when they say Jermod McCoy, he's the best corner in the draft. I'm like, he hasn't played in a year, and he's got it coming off an ACL injury. I don't know. Don't do it, is what I would say. Don't do it. And maybe it goes to the past, and maybe I'm being unfair, but don't do it.
Jeez.
Get a player that has decent health and a decent health history. And I know we got a medical staff that is second to none, supposedly, by his words, but I just can't do it. Now, we talked about this. Does the buck stop here? Jon-Eric Sullivan. Now, if he does get Jermod McCoy, it is going to be by his own accord, because we heard from Jon-Eric Sullivan, Dan Marino, great sounding board, Troy Aikman, not involved with the draft, although he's going to be in the draft room probably, and I'll be talking to him the whole day. Not involved with the draft, but a good sounding board. The draft picks It's nobody but me. They even asked him, well, hold up. What if your boss gets involved? Does your boss have some say in the draft picks?
Steven is as supportive of an owner as you can be. And obviously, he's the owner of the team. I mean, that speaks for itself. It's my call.
I like it.
Oh, wait a minute. First of all, I like Sully. First of all, calling your boss by his first name, that's a boss move right there.
Steven is.
Because I don't ever recall Greer calling Boss Ross Steven. I think he just said Mr. Ross or, the man upstairs. Something I never heard him call him by his first name. Right? Because I don't call Claudia. Call her boss lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a different relationship.
Yeah, we have a different relationship.
I call her Claudia.
It's cool, but there's a respect. Like, you are a boss lady, so therefore I'm going to call you boss lady.
Well, if I ever talk to other people outside of work and they're like, I was like, I'm going to go talk to my boss, Claudia Mingus. I don't go, I'm going to go talk to Claudia.
You're not going to say that. You're going to say,
the house, it's Claudia
right,
Mingus.
like she has a title and, you got to respect it. So the same thing with Mr. Ross. He's the owner. Remember, that contract, those checks, that direct deposit, it's got to go through him.
Oh, and Vlad, let's keep it a buck real quick.
So he's gonna have a say no matter what.
Exactly. Let's keep it a buck. I'm not trying to say anything other than this. I like that he's taking accountability and saying it's on him.
I love it.
The fact of the matter is, it's not 100% on him. If you think Stephen Ross and other people aren't in his ear,
if 10 Billy walks in, all right, and says, I don't know about that, guess what? Y'all not knowing, you better reconsider and find a better option or a better prospect.
None of this, you, he said, I said, I want, because we had that last time.
And I respect that. That's why I love what he said. This is why I love the comments, because it's not like, maybe I should have, in the
past, I've listened to other people. Right. Now I'm listening to myself.
In the past, I didn't listen to others. Maybe I'm going to take more of a authority position, more of a personnel decision. Nah, get out of here, Mr. Greer. I don't want to hear none of that. You're the general manager. How are you going to tell me you're the general manager? You get paid to make these decisions, and you're telling me I haven't really been part of these critical decisions? Then what the hell are we paying you for?
Yeah.
Or what the hell are they paying you for?
I like it. He just cut it off at the pass.
So I like the fact that he says, nah, it ends with me.
For once, you make it black and white. Make it very simple.
So you know who to go to.
Once again, Stephen Ross will probably yell at him all draft day long and tell him what he needs to do. We know that's going to happen. But to say that happens in the house, what happens outside the house, it's on me. Goes good, it's on me. Goes bad, it's on me. I make the decisions around here. Do I really? Sort of. But nonetheless, that's really what he's saying.
And quick, like I said, at least two it's affecting you this year and next year, but at least you get some cap relief next year. You're projected to have over $148 million in cap space next year. So that's why, yes, they are gunning for 27. 27, you have an array of picks and you got cash. And that's how you get back in the NFL. Picks and cash.
That is the recipe, not just for the NFL, the NBA also.
Picks and cash.
Picks and cash. Cap space, and that's all it needs right there. And with all that being said, once again, we started with the Dolphins fans taking a deep breath at the beginning of last segment, saying, Jon-Eric Sullivan reassures you we're going to get it fixed.
I have no doubts we will get where we want to go. Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not up here going to make predictions on how fast. I have tremendous faith in our process and the people that carry out the process, and we'll get there.
Trust the process. Don't know how long it's going to be. Very wise to say that. But he has tremendous faith in that he was going to do it. And he's done some of the things that are right, like bringing in Troy Aikman, having Dan Marino, let's be honest, have more say in the organization, trying to keep some pillars at the same time, building this thing up and changing things from the ground up. This year might have some challenges, but it is onward and upward for these Miami Dolphins as the draft gets going this coming Thursday. I want to say it's an 8:00 start. Dolphins will most likely have 2 picks on the first day. As of right now, scheduled for number 11 and number 30. What will they do? We will find out. Up next, going to get you caught up everything going on in and around the sports world here on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
The home of champions. Home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. The 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Miami Hurricanes basketball. And now, the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
So we had a nice little fun chat with Jon-Eric Sullivan, hearing how he's building this team and what the draft could be looking like over the next, I'm not just going to say week, over the next week and a year, because he may be getting some draft capital for next year. I do like some of the comments we have. Of course, you can jump in 305-567-0560, or you jump on the YouTube and Twitch. RVA Richie says, with the depth we have next year, we're going to have valet parking attendants on special teams. So we've seen that happen before. Other people saying we got to give Achan his money. We'll see about that. That hasn't always worked out in the past. And then, of course, we also have to wonder about what the quarterback situation in the draft will be, because we know that Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Havley says that they plan on being like Green Bay, whether they draft a quarterback every year or every other year and introduce competition into the quarterback's room, which right now the quarterback's room is one Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers. So other quarterback to be determined for that third quarterback is up for debate, and we shall see. NBA going on right now. The playoffs have officially begun. The Raptors, Cavaliers are up 41-39 with 6:29 in the second quarter right now.
Okay.
That's that 4-5 matchup, man. That's the one that everybody's circling to be a 7-game series.
I understand why Toronto didn't want to play the Knicks.
Why did Toronto not want to play the Knicks?
Because we've owned them this whole year, so I kind of wanted them to be the 6th seed.
We're going to do that later this hour. Hold tight. Vlad and I, every year, it's a tradition unlike any other. Vlad and I predict who we think is going to win every single series in the NBA playoffs and the winner. And it's been a couple of years that we've been almost dead on, so get ready for that. I might have a surprise up my sleeve, too. I think there's one team that might surprise some people this year in the NBA playoffs. It's not going to be the Miami Heat, though, because they lost to the Charlotte Hornets this past week. And, you know, they call the Olay brothers all the time.
Olay, 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 olay.
Norman and Tyler Hero, but Jaime Jaquez Jr. got olayed by LaMelo Ball on that last play in overtime. Or not the last play, I should say the second to last play in overtime. And that might be one of the problems that the Miami Heat might need to shore up, is some of the defensive woes that this team has, because it has not been great. Outside of Bam Adebayo, who didn't play, once again.
He didn't play long.
He played a period and a half, quarter and a half.
What's his points? Was he on the verge of a big game? I don't remember.
I mean, just his defensive presence would have been very helpful in that game.
Yeah.
Against an upstart Charlotte Hornets team that does seem to have a very high ceiling going forward.
Well, I'm hurt.
Because I thought going to the playoffs.
I had them going to the playoffs. So
last night that went out the window.
The window quickly. So I'm hurt by that. But great season by them. And shout out to me for being on the Charlotte Hornets and Portland Trailblazers bandwagon since the beginning of the year.
I was on the Portland Trailblazers bandwagon pretty early on when I started watching them and seeing them. I didn't know that one guy.
What a goal by Tottenham.
I know, what a goal by Tottenham, by the way. I'm trying not to look surprised on the YouTube and Twitch, as that guy just nailed a wonder goal. When I watched that Portland Trailblazers team early in the year, and I didn't expect Danny Avia to be as good as he is. You think someone sitting and learning from Damian Lillard has helped?
Now, Bam was 3 for 3, by the way, in his 11 minutes of action. So
Danny Avia, man, you can see his game is even kind of like Damian Lillard. He is just
he's just bigger. He's
bigger and maybe can downhill, get to the hoop better.
Downhill, like he's trying to go downhill.
But he can pass.
He ain't soft.
He can shoot. He's not soft.
Congratulations to Portland. They started the year, I mean,
obviously under duress.
Under duress with the arrest, the federal arrest of Chauncey Billups.
Not just the arrest, but
it's just a
shaving
scandal.
Points and throwing games.
But if you've been watching basketball, you've noticed that Portland they were showing signs of improving instead and taking the steady steps to get better. And it would have been great if Chauncey was the coach that led them, but got to give a shout out and a lot of respect to Tiago Splitter for coming in after that situation and holding this team, like not only holding the team accountable, but holding the fort down, not only holding the fort, but going on the road in Phoenix and winning a play-in game. And now they're the 7th seed and they're going to face the San Antonio Spurs tomorrow night.
Now, we might not remember the whole situation with Tiago Splitter. So when Chauncey Billups, the whole situation went down, they named one of their assistant coaches as the new head coach. And that assistant coach said, no, I think this team would benefit from an up-and-coming star in the coaching ranks in Tiago Splitter to be the head coach.
That's
and
humble,
I will
man.
continue to be the assistant coach under him. He's like, Tiago Splitter will benefit this team far further than I will.
And that's why, you know what, when you hear stories like that, that's why I root for organizations like that, because that's a lot. That's a lot for
you got to swallow a lot of pride.
A lot. Okay. Because to take away, this is an opportunity that there's only 30 of these opportunities. There's only 30 of them. So the fact that you took yourself out of the equation and was humble enough
and honest enough
to say that there might be a better candidate than myself for this opportunity, I will still be there and help and assist. But I think this team will, progress better with Tiago Splitter than myself. You got to give that assistant coach credit.
You've got some great leadership on that team. And once again, this isn't a Portland show, but we are talking about Damian Lillard, who was like a player coach, Drew Holiday,
absolute Jeremy Grant,
who hit some huge threes the other night from the corner. Sean said, I thought he was just getting rid of the ball.
Nah, he's Jeremy Grant's good. That's why you take a look at some teams and you look at players on teams, you're like, man, this player could actually help and a contender.
When they paid him that money, everybody was like, oh, they've given up everything. They don't have any.
I mean, we all thought Drew Holiday was going to be traded. And he's been there with this team for the last 2 years.
And when you get a healthy Shaedon Sharpe, he is as athletic as a player you're going to see in the NBA.
They got a good big man in Donovan Clingan.
He's out. He's does all the dirty work.
Scoot. Everybody was always Scoot. Type. He may not be a superstar, but sometimes you don't listen. Sometimes guys aren't just superstars, but they're just steady.
No, they didn't expect Denny. What is it?
Denny Avila
to be as good as he is, man. What a player.
I mean, look, you got Dame coming back next season, so don't be. Portland should be a team to watch in next year's NBA season. But they still got 4 games minimum to play against the alien.
Woo. Spurs
against Wemby. But that's the other. You see what Portland did, and they got the player back, and they got better. Like that's the other frustrating part that's going on with the Miami Heat when you're watching them. It's that you see teams who front office or MO is not as prestige as the Miami Heat. They're making moves, and these moves are benefiting them and helping them. Like I said earlier with the Atlanta Hawks, you traded your best player, your all-star, because you developed a guy in Jalen Johnson, and you felt that this team would be better with Jalen Johnson at their helm.
It also made it easier that Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who sat in for or played in for,
they paid for him or they traded for him,
right? But he had just as good of numbers, if not better. So at that point, you say,
right,
okay.
But you made the moves,
right.
though. You know what I'm saying? Like you made the moves. I wouldn't say the Norm Powell move was a bad move. That was actually a good move. But once you started seeing the season play along. Now you're starting. I mean, obviously, hindsight 2020, but was he available to be moved in the trading deadline? The other thing that I didn't think of it at the time, but now when you think about it, obviously, them not making a move during the trading deadline, being the only Eastern Conference team not to make a move in the trading deadline, that hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts. You could have gotten something for some of these players.
This is the thing. Some of these moves are great, and you're saying, "Oh man, they're so good." To say they know what they're doing, they know to a point, but at one point it gets down to being a gamble. I don't think Joe Cronin had this master plan of like, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to trade Damian Lillard to the Heat. We're going to trade him to the Bucks, and then we're going to get him back. And then we're going to develop all these guys. And then we're going to do all this. Same thing. We're going to trade Trae Young. And then we're going to get like some of it is still a gamble. The Heat, they gambled on Terry Rozier and they lost. And pardon the pun, or pardon my use of words. But I mean, it's a strategic move, but at the same time, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when it works, you look like a genius. And when it doesn't work, you look like the Miami Heat. I mean, you don't look like you know what you're doing. We didn't know Terry Rozier was going to be a bum basketball player, and maybe
maybe not a bum basketball player. You just didn't know that he had some
he played
bum tendencies, like things that he was doing outside of the court with the gambling and everything like that. And it's not their fault.
There's other things Terry Rozier was doing outside the court other than the gambling.
Yeah, we know, right?
And if you don't know, just guess. You get caught up sometimes here in South Florida.
It's a Rossini. You know what I'm saying? You get Rossini'd.
What a new term.
You know what? I feel bad because I really like her as a journalist. She's done a lot of shows with friends of mine and everything like that. So it's not like I'm taking it, but it's just funny. It's just funny when people get caught and then they start scrambling and not know how to not making right moves.
I just don't know if there's any right
or sound moves.
But I don't know.
There is a right move. Just say, yo.
Just ignore it and just
you could. I mean,
that's what Mike Vrabel's doing. Mike Vrabel's like, hey, I'm going to go under a rock for a little while, and we'll get ready.
It's not that he's under a rock. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'll tell you this. You handle things like the what's Dallas Stars? Is that the WNBA team? Dallas Stars, right?
Wings.
Oh, Dallas Wings. I'm sorry.
No,
Dallas
WNBA.
I'm sorry. Dallas Wings. I'm sorry.
Stars is a hockey team that played tonight.
Oh, that's right. I knew there was a Stars team in Dallas. All right, my bad. -1 on me.
I mean, no, it's just
I thought it was either Wings or Stars.
It's a fast game, man. It's a fast game.
All right, so AZ Fudd,
yeah,
she was selected number 1, right?
Yes,
and she went to the Dallas Wings.
Yes,
AZ Fudd graduated out of Connecticut. She happens to be in a relationship with another Connecticut star. Former Connecticut star, who happens to be who was the number 1 pick of the WNBA.
Oh, wait, I didn't know she was dating Paige Beckers.
Exactly.
I didn't know that. I just saw how excited Paige Beckers was for her to be drafted.
No, they did, and Paige mentioned that they were dating last year. So guess what? When AZ came to do her press conference, her introductory press conference, the reporters asked questions, and I love what the Dallas Wings PR people did. They go, I know it's your job and you have a job to do, and I know you're doing it as best as you can, but we are not going to allow any personal questions.
Only basketball questions.
Only basketball questions.
Although,
because we do not discuss personal matters.
It is technically a basketball issue because they're both going to be on the same team.
Okay, cool. But the fact of the matter is they neutralized it. They nullified it immediately. Like, don't start asking, because if I allow one person to ask a question, that means I'm going to allow everybody else, and it might not even be about the game. It's just about, their relationship. And they've never talked about their athletes' personal relationship, so why should they do that now? I give them credit for that. They stopped the situation, and that's it.
I will say this. That situation can go very well. It could also go very badly, Vlad. To have two people dating on the same team. We know how relationships could be volatile sometimes. That's calculated risk.
Oh, it's all listen. The whole WNBA is all calculated risk. Like if you hear some of the stories in the WNBA and know some of the things in the WNBA,
they need to have a reality show.
I mean, I know saying it's catty is really an understatement.
Wow,
like, they just as foul as the guys. So now somebody asked me why did I call it Rossini instead of Vrabel. Vrabel didn't lose his job.
Right. That's the very obvious reason why.
Vrabel didn't lose his job. And the thing about Vrabel, and it was like, oh, this is a stereotype.
Or quit his job.
Or quit his job. And it was like, oh, it's a stereotype. This is what happens with gender. Here's the thing, folks.
The fact of the matter is,
I didn't make the rules.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if the roles were reversed and she was the coach and he were the journalist, he would have to resign, or he would resign.
Yes.
Of course. Because, yes.
If Kim Mulkey was found to have a relationship with some journalist, guess who's going to get let go?
The journalist.
The journalist, not Kim Mulkey. Because guess what? Kim Mulkey's getting teams to the regional finals, Final Fours, and winning national titles.
That, and also the what's the word? The bias would always be from now on that this male journalist was getting his sources a certain way. Kim Mulkey, that's not affecting so much about her job or her perception. Tough situation.
I mean,
people love this story, by the way. We posted it on YouTube, and I was like, nobody's going to care about this.
No, they love the story because you know why people love the story?
Salacious.
Because it's not the first time they're hearing it about this individual.
Yes,
there's been other reports of, and people have heard in the past of this, but
and the pictures,
but you've heard about a fight she had with a fellow Washington Commanders journalist at the time that was working for NBC Washington while she was working for another affiliate, another medium, and they got into it because apparently when Sean McVay was, he was in offensive and defensive meetings with both of them.
Oh, so reports are that her husband...
They didn't know. They didn't know. Now the reports is that her husband's the one that hired a PI, and the husband's the one that's been dealing these pictures to all these different media outlets.
Well, you know what? I hate to be like this, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to say, and the people might take this the wrong way, but I don't think his wife would do that. There's a sense of pride, and they don't want to be embarrassed. So I don't think a woman would actually, the wife of Mrs. Vrabel would actually publicly have this out.
No, but what I was saying is this. Diana Rossini, I'm not saying anything. She kind of dragged his name in the mud and kind of said some nasty things about him. Her husband. Now her husband turns it around and hires a PI. Can't really be mad about that.
I mean, if you've been ishing on my name,
right,
in meeting different interviews, and then now publicly, and then now there's video of you doing something that most married people shouldn't be. No, not most. All married people shouldn't be doing.
I don't know. There may be certain circumstances.
I mean, unless you got a special,
that's your business, but still.
Special relationship or a special understanding with your spouse, cool. But most people are gonna find that, they're gonna find that wrong. So people getting upset, I really don't see how we should get upset. It's always the handling of the situation. Oh, you guys are making too much of it.
No,
we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
That was
we're not.
When Bill Clinton got in trouble with Monica Lewinsky. Y'all make too much of it.
No,
we're not. Nope, sorry.
No, that's not a coffee stain on her dress.
Look
that's
what
not
the media tries to do. Like, no. Point the blame everywhere that it's not, because there's two people.
No, point the blame at yourself because you slacked on your pimping. Maybe you've been doing it for a while and you thought that everything was good. You had this all handled, and then you got caught.
You get away a couple times and you start to get a little lax.
If you start slacking on your pimping, guess what, pimping? You're going to get caught.
It's true stories. Real quick, let's go through some quick headlines because I do want to talk about this Miami Heat situation, especially with Bam Adebayo and LaMelo Ball. The Marlins, they host the Brewers. That is going to be this evening at, the wrong headlines? Let's see. I don't know what headlines I just opened up. Those are definitely not the right ones. Let me see. Where am I?
Which one you want to talk about?
I don't even know what am I even looking at now?
The Heat were eliminated Tuesday. Panthers season ended Wednesday.
Headlines. There we go. Let's go.
There we go.
Orlando steamrolled Charlotte 121-90. Phoenix down Golden State 111-96. Both advance as the 8th seeds. NBA playoffs going on right now. Raptors and Cavs. 3:30, you get the Timberwolves Nuggets. 6 o'clock, Vlad. Hawks Knicks. I'll be watching that for sure. I don't know about you. And then at 8:30 tonight, Lakers Rockets. Can LeBron keep pulling the rabbit out the hat? We shall find out.
No, look. Rockets going to win the series.
Oh, no.
That's my brain talking. I really do think the Lakers have a shot to pull the upset.
I think the Lakers, if they could be healthy,
they're not going to be healthy because they're not going to have AR-15 and they're not going to have Luka.
No, it's like fighting with two hands tied behind your back.
But you have a king, an old king. But does he have one more final stand?
If he can just hold the fort down for one round.
If he holds the fort down for one round,
cavalry might come.
It might be his third greatest accomplishment in his career. The first two was taking that 07 Cavs team to the final. No, that's the second. The number one was taking that 2018 Cavs team to the final. That was the greatest LeBron season of all time.
Heat championships, then the Cavs. Then number 3, breaking Kareem's record for all time.
I mean,
he also broke Robert Parrish's record for all time regular season games.
That's when you know you're damn good. that people could pick from your milestones about which is your top milestone.
And they're big milestones.
And they're all big
Holy
milestones. Like
goodness.
I'm just being
Also more years in the NBA played than anybody else.
I'm being just being an ass, but besides by saying like his 3 great accomplishments was when he took the 07 team and the 18 team. But guess what? It was really great accomplishments. Like literally.
Unbelievable. Real quick, some of the things going on today. NHL playoffs, 3:00, Ottawa Senators and Carolina Hurricanes, 5:30, Minnesota Wild, Dallas Wings. No, I'm joking, Dallas Stars. Then at 8:00, Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Inter Miami, first match with new manager Guillermo Hoyos. Today against the Colorado Rapids. Get this, it is the Colorado Rapids' 30th anniversary match. And no surprise, they chose to have their 30th anniversary match to be held at Empower Field at Mile High Stadium as Inter Miami comes to town. So going to be a big crowd right there. All right, Vlad, we've got to talk about this play that happened on Tuesday night. Some people think it was egregious. Some people think, the NBA thought it was kind of, We're going to kind of figure it all out next. We're going to talk about Bam Adebayo, LaMelo Ball gate next here on Sports Day 104.3 FM, WQAM.
Time.
Was the play LaMelo Ball had on Bam Adebayo this Tuesday in the playing game that knocked Bam Adebayo out the game for the remainder of the game in the second quarter with about 8 minutes left, a dirty play? Well, we will decide in just a few. We're not the only people to have weighed in on this whole situation. Miami Heat, they talked about it after the game. Emotions were high. It's always high whenever your season is over, especially ending it that way in an overtime game. That was a classic, by the way. But without your captain and star player for most of it, Eric Spoelstra talked about the Bam LaMelo Ball collision.
I didn't see it, but I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny. I think it's a stupid play. It's a dangerous play. Obviously, our best player is out. I'm not making an excuse. The Hornets played great, and they made those plays down the stretch. We had our opportunities to win. I just, that's a shame. He should be penalized for that. I don't think that belongs in the game. Tripping guys, shenanigans, and Curtis was there. It's his responsibility to see that. And if it's not his responsibility, then Zach's got to see it. If somebody has got to see that, and that he should have been thrown out of the game, for that. I don't know him from anyone. There's no place in the game for that. Obviously, it took Bam out of the game.
So who is the onus on right there? It seems like LaMelo Ball, or is it the referees that should have been able to catch that? I don't quite understand what Eric Spoelstra is trying to say right there. The referees, obviously, if you don't already know, which you should know by now, didn't call the foul, which it probably, let's be honest, was a foul.
It was a foul, but I can understand the referees. I understand that point. I understand. It's almost similar to soccer.
There was a fast break on the other side.
Right.
He'd had an advantage.
Right. It's almost similar to soccer if there's a penalty, but you have the ball. It's the same thing with hockey. It's like if there's a penalty that's called, but the team has the puck. You're waiting for the opposing team to touch the puck in order for you to stop the play. Same thing. I saw a goal in soccer. I forgot who it was. It was a couple of years ago too. It was it Bayern? I think it might have been Bayern versus Real Madrid, where Madrid did a foul. The referee didn't stop it. He let play continued, and they scored a goal right after that. So I can understand that they're on a fast break. Do you blow the whistle while they're on a fast break? Because that's the other thing. What if he did blow the whistle? Would Spo be like, okay, that's great? Or would Spo be, why you blow the whistle? We were on a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 fast break. That was an opportunity for us to score. Now, should the rule be you let them score or you let the play happen, see if they score, and then you stop play and then you go back to it? That might have been a possibility. But it's kind of hard for you to stop the player, the action, especially when it's benefiting you.
Right. No, I'm not a referee, and I never want to be because I don't ever want this on my shoulders or parents yelling at me at Little League games. But I would think the rule is that you blow the whistle if there's any doubt that it's a foul. Therefore, you make it automatically reviewable.
So then if you blow the whistle, then there's no fast break.
Eric Spoelstra can yell at me all he wants.
So he was going to yell regardless.
Right. You're screwed either way. At least get it right to where you can review the play.
You're going to be screwed because what if they didn't score on that fast break?
Yes.
So that's 2 points.
Charlotte came back and scored right away, too.
But that's 2 points taken away from you, though.
It was. But could have gone the game without LaMelo Ball.
Cool. You can go review that play during a timeout. I don't think there's a problem if you review the play and see that the player committed a flagrant act.
But the window was passed at that point. Therefore,
then the question is, do you want the 2 points or do you want to stop a play and then for the rule to be enforced?
I will say this, and I'm going to be honest with you. As I watched it in real time, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
I didn't see anything.
Now, the replay is totally different.
Obviously, yeah, come on, bro. You can see anything with the replay.
I thought it was just nothing when he flailed around and Bam fell. I thought,
it's just somebody that's having a reputation. So the fact is their best player got hurt. And, I mean, listen, if he has a history of doing this, and especially with this particular player,
which is weird.
Which is very weird.
Like, I doubt every game he goes in like, any chance I get against Bam Adebayo,
right?
Low clothesline him. I think it's kind of happenstance and circumstance.
It happens in sports where sometimes if you're if you're associated with a situation with another player, they're always going to look for that.
They're going to find every.
So it's like there was a time every time LeBron and Draymond went at it, they always wanted to see because of the kick in in the Nats, is that going to happen? Or every time the T-Wolves play the Warriors, is Draymond going to go and behind Gobert and choke him, because you've seen that happen. So if it happens again, it's always, oh my God, there must be some type of anger, and they must hate each other. And it's just like, no, it's just the way people are, the way people act. Sometimes they don't act the smartest in certain situations.
So Tyler Hero was asked if the LaMelo Ball play on Bam Adebayo was a dirty play.
I mean, we all know it was not the right play.
Not the right play.
That's funny from him, because he was doing not the right plays a lot during the year. Wendell Carter almost killed him.
Well,
remember that.
Well, Bam Adebayo did say earlier this week at the exit interviews is that only one person will know if it's a dirty play or not, and that is LaMelo Ball. So I think Bam and the guys have made their peace with it. Udonis Haslem, oddly enough, was very calm at halftime after the play.
I mean, he's getting paid now.
He was on Prime TV, and he said, LaMelo Ball's not a dirty player, so I don't think it was a dirty player. Next man up mentality is what he said.
Right, because I don't really – it's easy to put the blame on Melo, and he's at fault. Let's not get it twisted.
Absolutely.
But when you have a reputation of always doing some questionable things or having questionable decision-making,
well,
it's – then a play like this will add more validity to people's claims of you being a problem or question your decision making.
So we'll further break it down, but first let's hear from Eric Spoelstra and if that collision had a lasting effect on the game.
Now, I repeat again, that had nothing to do with the end. I don't want to take anything away from the Hornets. They've had a fantastic second half to this season, and this was just a great dogfight. It was a great dogfight. Whoever had, the ball last to make the play. I mean, we had the last play, but they made it when it really mattered.
Did it have a lasting effect? Yes. When you're playing in a play-in game, a playoff game, a big game without your best player for a large part of it, yes. Do not take anything away from the Charlotte Hornets that made the play at the end of the game. But Vlad, you didn't have all your firepower. It had an effect on the game. No excuses, but it did have an effect on the game.
I mean, of course it did have an effect. You didn't have your best player, but I mean,
still should have won the game. Still got to find a way.
Still should have won the game.
And if they would have won the game, there would have been no excuses made. And not that he was making excuses, but it did have a lasting effect. Now, Eric Spoelstra did say the referees need to be on top of it. Eric Spoelstra told the media afterwards whether the referees explained the situation to him after it happened.
No, I mean, you can't go back. I think they saw it, and I think I read it on his face that it was like, oh, yeah, we missed that. And that's the responsibility of somebody to see that. And particularly, I get it. You might not see all the action in somebody falling, but you saw a frustrated player. A frustrated player now can do something frustrating action, and that led to, taking our best player out of the game, which was unfortunate.
Wait, you didn't see what happened, but you saw a frustrated player, and you saw a frustrated player take out another player.
Well, no. I think Eric Spoelstra said he did not see what was happening.
No.
The speed of the game.
You said the referees.
The referees, yes,
did not see a frustrated player.
No, the referees did see a frustrated player.
Let's listen to that again, because I gotta hear this, because it just sounds like
I mean, you can't go back. I think they saw it, and I think I read it on his face that it was like, oh, yeah, we missed that, and that's the responsibility of somebody to see that. And particularly, I get it. You might not see all the action in somebody falling, but you saw a frustrated player. A frustrated player now can do something frustrating action, and that led to, taking our best player out of the game, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, we saw a frustrated player, and we see frustrated players all the time.
Yeah.
Like
you can't call a foul on a guy that's on the ground frustrated if you didn't see what he did before.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying about this. I get it. You're upset. But what did you want them to do? Like you're saying, okay, this referee didn't see it, so then the other referee should see it, so that when the play happens, the Heat score on that fast break, blow the whistle right then and there, and say we're going to take a look at a possible hostile act. If you want that to happen, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. But I understand the referee not taking away
A fast break
a
opportunity.
fast break opportunity by blowing the whistle, because guess what? Fans and players on the team and coaches would be upset if they had a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 fast break and the play would stop because of that. They wanted to go back and make a rule. You would be upset with that because you were like, oh, we had a chance to score. They would be upset with that. So it was really nothing going to happen unless the referees allowed them to get the fast break points and then stop play right after that.
So here's what I think happened. LaMelo Ball drove down the lane, got frustrated, like Eric Spoelstra said, meant no malice through it, although malice ended up happening, and just kind of frustratedly, and we've all done this in life, as in basketball, just kind of swiped Bam Adebayo. He caught Bam Adebayo's ankle and kind of caught him off guard. Bam Adebayo has been a basketball player his whole life and knows that when you get hit kind of dirty, not that you embellish, but that you kind of make sure the referees see it. He kind of got caught in the air and he busted his tailbone.
And let's be real. If players really thought it was dirty, they would have handled it.
That is what upsets me a lot.
They would have handled it.
They should have handled it.
But if they really thought it was dirty.
Dirty or not dirty. Once again, Vlad, you know I'm from that school.
Dirty or not, but if you know that it was dirty, like take it from UD. UD would be like, LaMelo's not a dirty player. Next man, that's cool. Now he might have. Is that a different because I haven't played basketball in 4 or 5 years and I'm not wearing a uniform, UD? Possibly. But things are handled.
You still took out our best player.
Things are handled within the lines. Still are handled within the lines. So
it doesn't do you any good getting them 20 games into the year next year getting paid.
No, you get them now. But like the thing about it is, like I said, if the players really felt that this was a dirty move, they would have handled it.
Nonetheless, Jameer Young, get in there. I got 6 fouls to give, and I'm only going to use 1.
Listen, it's a dirty play.
That's why there should have been repercussions.
But it's a dirty play in our eyes. I don't know if all the players really felt like it was dirty.
I think he meant no malice. He was frustrated. I think Bam kind of got caught in the air. I think the referees, when they saw it in real time, it was happening fast. They maybe thought there wasn't that much contact. They saw that there was an advantage for the Miami Heat on the other end. They kept their whistles in the pocket. And let's be honest, in these playoffs or play-ins, you're supposed to be able to be a little more physical. And they've shown that. So I think all that played into it.
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to be physical. You ain't allowed to be like,
well, like I said, in real time, it didn't look like
a play from the behind.
I didn't know he grabbed his the heel of his foot and pushed him. But I think it was a bang fast play. Unfortunately, it led to Bam Adebayo getting hurt, and then it led to the Heat losing, and the season is now over.
It's over.
The frustration is real for both teams, and both teams are out of the play-in or playoffs anyway. So, I hope Bam Adebayo's tailbone heals up well, and we'll try to figure out things next year. Speaking of trying to figure things out, though, Vlad,
what's up?
It's that time. We're going to go through each and every playoff series and try to figure out who's going to win this bad boy as the NBA playoffs have just begun. It's a tradition we do every single year. You don't want to miss it. We've been pretty dead on a couple of years. Let's do this next here on Sports Day, 104.3 FM, WQAM.
How would you
shows and favorite teams on WQAM.
How is that, if I may ask?
We're at FM 1043, or you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Check it out now.
The NBA playoffs are underway. Unfortunately, no Miami Heat involved in these playoffs, but we got one game underway. It's Cleveland Cavaliers 82-66 up on the Toronto Raptors with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Juice is loose.
Struce juice loose. Cavs showing themselves pretty good in this first game, but it's just the first game of the playoffs. What we need to do, Vlad, though, is now predict how we're going to feel as though every single one of these series is going to go into an eventual champion at the end of this thing all the way early June. So do you want to start in the East or do you want to start in the West for the first round?
I'm from the East.
Let's go East. Of course, you got the 1-8 matchup with the Pistons and the Magic. I think we're going to be in agreement on this one, but go ahead. Do you take the Pistons or the Magic in that series?
Pistons in 6.
Ooh, you're even giving me a number right there.
C.
And I think that's a tough one, man. Yeah, Pistons will go in 6 right there because the Magic, they got Ruben Bain and they do have Paolo Banchero.
Wait,
and
they got Ruben Bain?
They got Desmond Bain.
I was like, damn, Ruben Bain is in the playoffs.
No, his arms are too short to play in the NBA. What am I saying?
Could you imagine? How would he shoot a 3? I would love to see that.
You like to see Ruben Bain play some basketball?
Oh, man.
Probably surprise you. We got the matchup going on right now, 4-5 matchup. Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors.
Cavs in 5.
Cavs in 5. I got Cavs in 7 right there.
Really?
Yeah, I like the Raptors. I think they're really tough. Scotty Burns. They got, of course, my guy Brandon Ingram. They got they're scrappy and good team. I like them a lot. Now, Knicks and Hawks, of course, they get underway at 6 o'clock tonight.
Knicks in 4.
Knicks in 4. That is a strong prediction right there. I think the Hawks, they do have some athletic talent. They can score.
All right. Let me be Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 6.
No, Knicks in 5. Dang, this ain't. No, I'm not stressing
the
this.
Celtics, who's everybody's darling, against the 76ers, who are surprisingly a 7 seed in that 2-7 matchup.
Celtics winning this series.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you?
And it's not going 7.
Even debating.
I'm only debating if it's going to be a gentleman sweep or does Philly. Nah, it's a gentleman sweep. Philly's not getting a game 6. Yeah, gentleman sweep.
I'm
Boston in 5.
Celtics in 5. Okay, so let's go over to the Western Conference.
West Side?
1 versus 8. Thunder, I'm very high on them.
Thunder,
Suns, I'm very low on them.
Thunder in 3.
Thunder in 1. It's so bad. The first game is so bad. They're like, you know what? Call the series off.
Thunder. Nah, I see a sweep. Get them brooms out.
Let's
get
go.
Them brooms.
Let's
get
go.
Them, get them huffies out, man.
Let's go. Thunder. I'm telling you, Thunder, a class team, man. Now, this one's exciting. A lot of people are different back and forth, and they should because it's a 4-5 matchup with a lot of star power. There's some people injured. There's some people down. Lakers, Rockets. That gets underway tonight at 8:30. Lakers are the 4 seed.
My brain is telling me the Rockets, but I think LeBron has one more in him. I'm going Lakers in 7.
You got you right on mine. I think what we said, Kevin Durant, he could fill it up, but it's not as impactful as it used to be.
Oh man, all of them.
Don't get me wrong. LeBron, his triple doubles aren't always as impactful as they used to be.
Not if he's the number 1 guy. If he's like the 3rd guy, impactful triple double. But if he's the number 1 guy, it's just not the same because those points, everything that he's doing is just to keep the game within reach. Back in those days, if he put up those numbers, the game was over.
He's got just enough as the Lakers get by the Rockets in 7.
And also, you know why?
On.
Those apps that spend a lot of money for these playoffs, they need all the superstars. They need as many games with these superstars as they can get. Bad enough they don't got no Luka. At least they got Bron. You understand? You see how quickly they changed the narrative and how it went from Luka and the Lakers.
The future is now.
Now it's LeBron and the Lakers versus Kevin Durant and the Rockets. Oh, man.
Two legendary scores.
How many more times we're going to be able to see these two compete at this level?
It's pretty exciting.
I mean, no, listen, I get it. But the narrative wasn't that the other day.
No, it's all Luka's coming back.
It was all about Luka, Jokic,
and back from Europe.
And then it was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember we're in America. We got American stars. Oh, yeah, let's talk about them.
Let's do that. 2 legends in the game. All right, now the one, a lot of people going all types of
2-7
on the board right here. The 3-6.
Oh, the 3-6?
Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards. Nuggets are the 3 seed. Timberwolves the 6 seed. Is Ant-Man all the way back from injury? Can Jokic carry this team? Although he's not alone with Jamal Murray and those guys. Who do you have winning between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves? Are you going to do something crazy?
No, it's this series about who's going to be healthiest. Who's the healthiest out of superstars between Jokic and Ant-Man? I know Denver,
Timberwolves have had their number the past couple of years.
They have had their number in the past couple of years, but they've also lost some critical players in helping them get past this team. Walker, Alexander Walker, Nickeil Alexander Walker was critical for Minnesota. Now he's over in Atlanta, helping Atlanta. I think this goes 7.
But who do you have winning? Because anything can happen in a game 7.
I take Denver in 7 only because I feel their second superstar is going to outplay Minnesota's second superstar. I think Murray will outplay Julius Randle. I know they don't play the same position, but I think Murray will put up the numbers to help Joker, while Julius' numbers might not help Ant-Man.
I think Nikola Jokic in a game 7 puts the team on his shoulder and has one of those massive triple doubles.
But guess what? He's lost those games to Ant-Man.
I know. I just feel as though
they've lost those games to Ant-Man.
But this
and
is
the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Different playoffs, different teams, different situations. He has one of those
critical matchup
20-20-20s, and you go, wow.
I talked about the number 2s, right?
Yep.
The number 2, Murray versus Randall. I'll tell you the most critical matchup. Aaron Gordon versus Naz Reid.
Naz Reid's a great player.
Naz Reid steps up in these moments, and he
makes big plays.
He's been a nugget killer. He's been a Nuggets killer in these playoffs. So, and Aaron Gordon, we saw. Remember last season, Aaron Gordon was hitting game winners like every time. Every time we were on, Aaron Gordon was hitting a game winner. Whether it was against the Clippers, who else they played last year? Minnesota, Yeah, this is going to be a great series.
And now the 2-7 matchup in the West. I'm very high on the Portland Trailblazers, the Spurs. They've got the alien. They've got some great players on that team. I'll tell you this.
I think it goes 6.
Don't sleep on those Trailblazers to get gentlemen swept by the Spurs.
I think it might go 6. It might go 5. It's either 5. They might sneak one and get 6. But
Spurs
they're winning one. They're definitely winning one in Portland. Portland's winning a game in Portland.
They'll get one for the home crowd.
They definitely. I don't know if they're gonna get 2 in Portland, but I know they're getting 1 in Portland.
All right, so we have Pistons Cavaliers now out in the East. You could think the Cavs have a little bit of magic to get past the Pistons, a team that has not been so proven in these playoffs over the past year or so.
I think this goes 7. I think Cleveland sneaks them.
You think Cleveland sneaks the Pistons?
See.
I think the Pistons have enough to get by, even in 6 games. I think Cleveland's playing with fire this year. They have been close to the edge all year. That's hence why they're a 4 seed. They're in trouble. Knicks, Celtics. This one is especially juicy. We remember last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks defeated the Celtics, and a lot of people wanted to say, "Oh, but Jason Tatum got hurt." They were getting their what before Jason Tatum went down. Knicks are a matchup nightmare for the Boston Celtics, but Boston Celtics, they're rejuvenated, they're refreshed, they're revengeful.
How many games was last year?
Huh?
How many games was last year?
Was it 5?
It's going to be the same repeat of last year. Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 7 for me. Now
even better. I like to beat them in the Garden and I see all those. What you call it? What do you call those guys? They're all redheaded. What gingers? There we go. Yeah, see all the gingers cry. All the gingerbread men cry.
Let's just say
all the Sami Zayn's.
Thunder Lakers in the second round of the playoffs.
Oh, come on, man. OKC 4.
Yep. I don't know about 4, but it's going to be.
Wait. Is Luka and AR back?
Yeah. Let's just give.
No, if Luka and AR back, it's 6.
Okay.
If Luka and AR is not back,
I was going to say
sweep.
Luka and Austin Reeves back, it's still Oklahoma City.
It's still OKC, but maybe in 6.
So you might be knowing where I'm going with this one. Nonetheless, let's just say now we get Nuggets and not Trailblazers.
Nuggets Spurs?
Nuggets Spurs.
7. In a great series, an all-timer.
I don't think so. I think Spurs in 6. Spurs over the Nuggets in 6.
I think Nuggets get them in 7.
Okay. Now we go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I've got Pistons. I've got Knicks. You've got Knicks. You've got Cavs. Who do you have winning that one?
Knicks either way.
I have Knicks either way also, in maybe 6, something like that. I just believe that they're a matchup nightmare for a lot of these teams. And although I know they're a 3 seed and I know they've got some issues, but you've got Jalen Brunson, a guy that makes plays. You've got Cat, who can play inside and out.
It's all about Mitch. I love Mitchell Robinson.
You got Mitchell Robinson.
He's the key. He's got
some guys. I hate to be it. Like, I believe in the Knicks that they are the matchup problem for these higher up teams in the East. And then OKC, and let's just say the Spurs.
6 OKC.
No problem. And then, of course, in the finals, you get OKC, and you and I both think it might be OKC and the Knicks. Before you even say it loud, I think OKC is the class of the league. I think it has not been a foregone conclusion all year, but I just believe that they've done it before. They've been there, done that. They are just too good this year. They seem like a team that is destined to win the NBA championship. So I know I'm going out on a limb, but I'm going with the obvious choice. I'm going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, Vlad, tell me your honest opinion. Who do you think?
Knicks in 7.
Oh, all right. I was glad you did that because I would have hated for you not to chosen the Knicks. So should be interesting. We are on the record now for who we think is going to win the NBA series and playoffs, and it should be a fun ride as it is underway right now. Getting ready for the Marlins and the Brewers. They're going to be playing at 4:10 today. 3:30 is the pregame. Vlad and I got to come back for one more segment and get you ready for that. This is Sports Day on 104.3 FM WQAM.
back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, the 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Dan Dale, Logan Cruzan, Vladimir Lewis on Vlad. I owe you and a large part of the population an apology. We've been talking about the NBA finals that are getting underway, the NBA playoffs that are getting underway. The NHL playoffs are about to get underway in about 30 seconds between the Ottawa Senators.
The Baby Kachucks.
Baby Kachuk will be in the mix, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who are number 1 seed.
Yeah, we don't like them.
No, but they're very happy we're not in the playoffs this year because we
everybody's
are their kryptonite. I mean, yeah, everybody, the whole league. I could go through the whole league.
The whole
Very
Eastern
happy.
Conference is happy the Florida Panthers.
And I mean, that's absolutely huge. And we got Inter Miami playing tonight. The Marlins are coming up in just a few minutes as they try to win a game against the Brewers last night. A tough 10-inning loss for those guys. But we got Sandy Alcantara on the man. The Sandman is in the house. But I have neglected mention.
Let's hope Sandy pitches better than he did in Detroit on Sunday.
I understand that, man. But I've neglected to mention maybe the biggest sporting event in the world.
Today? This weekend?
This weekend. It's going down.
When? Give me the day.
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, of course.
In Viva Las Vegas.
The 42nd edition of this.
It is WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Now, I know Pat McAfee is going to be a part of it because every time you turn on ESPN, they show Pat McAfee drinking beer and looking like an idiot.
Yeah.
Maybe Pat McAfee, whatever. I'm cool with him.
I got love for Pat, but I ain't need his involvement with this Cody Rhodes and
maybe over involvement. I would say because I haven't watched wrestling.
You know what happens, bro?
It's enough.
It's just like sporting teams. It's just like sport teams. Sometimes when you like something and everybody else starts liking something, that's when people start hating the thing that people like. And so Cody Rhodes was the guy that everybody loved a couple of years ago, and then it was like once his story was finally written, once he won the title, once they gave him the title, then the fan base started. You could slowly.
Did they literally get into a fight to open this hockey game?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Brady Kachuk literally got into a fight.
Baby Kachuk, baby, that's what's up.
2 seconds into the game against Carolina.
If Matthew's not going to be there, I'm Baby Kachuk's repping for the family.
Maybe he heard us speaking about WrestleMania and kind of got caught up in the
I guess
moment.
he wanted, opening match. I guess
what's
opening
the big
match to the opening match.
Yeah, no. What's the big storyline for? Well, wait, and then now they're showing the starting lineups and it says Brady Kachuk. Well, no, he's on the bench right now. He's in the penalty box.
He's on the box. That's great. 30 seconds until
no, not 30, not 30. 5 seconds.
5 seconds in the game, you're already sitting.
Okay. What's
big
the
storylines for the men is the World Heavyweight Championship. You got CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Tribal leader.
The tribal chief. Yes, sir. They don't like each other. They've never liked each other. And as the promos have been good, this is CM Punk's first solo WrestleMania main event.
Oh.
So, yeah, where he's the one-on-one. He's not involved in like a three-way or a tag team. This is a Roman Reigns 11th straight WrestleMania main event. Like WrestleMania and Roman Reigns.
He's one of the greatest of all time.
You're talking about two of the greatest of all time, but if you're talking about like when you're talking about those guys, yeah, Roman's he's there. He's there. So that's the Sunday night, day 2. That's tomorrow night's main event.
Right.
Tonight's main event's against Cody versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to his 15th world title.
I did see that.
Cody Rhodes is trying to retain the championship, but I'm beginning to see that people not feeling him the same way that they did. So there might be a heel turn coming soon. But this storyline wasn't progressing the way they wanted to, so they started to include celebrities outside the wrestling ring. Jelly Roll. Yeah. And Pat McAfee.
Maybe Bad Bunny back in there.
Well, it would be great if Bad Bunny was there.
He's too big now.
You know what the main event? You know what the main event for the next PLE is going to be?
No.
It's called WrestleMania Backlash. It's going to be in the state of Florida in May. It's going to be in Tampa. And the rumored main event's supposed to be Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, Pat McAfee. Yeah. So that's going on there. For the women, you got Stephanie Vaquer. I love her. Okay. You know who she looks like? She looks like Jay
As he
Fig.
Fudd. Oh
No, she looks like Jay Fig. She looks like if Jay Fig was more gothic.
More gothic. Okay.
Yeah. She's going against Liv Morgan, who is just a great talent, beautiful young lady. So that's going to be good. They've had a heated rivalry to the point where Stephanie pushed Liv, and Liv bumped heads with her fellow Judgment Day member, and she had like one of these big, like one of those big Hassan Rahman knot on her head. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how big. Beautiful girls shouldn't have big knots on their forehead.
That is
not a good thing.
Somewhat of a turnoff.
And then there's the beautiful Jade Cargill, the WWE Women's Champion, versus the lovely Rhea Ripley. And you're talking about eye candy galore? That's that.
And we're talking about 2 nights at Allegiant Stadium.
2 nights at Allegiant Field, second year in a
Las
row.
Vegas. And that means both nights they're going to pack in
40.
90.
No. Tickets weren't selling like this year, like last year. No. TKO, they've been killing fans over. They've been hitting fans over the head with some of these ticket prices, and the fans have said, you know what, it ain't worth it for me to spend nearly $30,000 to $40,000 on a weekend trip to Vegas. Like, bad enough you're gonna spend money in Vegas because it's Vegas, but then you got to spend that much money with the ticket prices, merch, all of that. They weren't. Fans decided, nah, we're not gonna do it. I'll watch it on ESPN Plus.
Right.
And that's why ESPN, knowing that it's been in WWE, knowing that the tickets weren't moving, that's why they put in the first hour both nights on free television.
Wrestling isn't what I thought it used to be.
Guess what? It reached its ceiling 2 years ago at WrestleMania 40. It's still popular, but it's kind of difficult when you reach that pinnacle. And this happens all the time in wrestling. You reach a pinnacle. WrestleMania 17 was the pinnacle for the Attitude Era. It all ended when Vince McMahon and Stone Cold decided to join forces. The Hogan era, the Rock and Roll Wrestling era, it ended when the Warrior won. Like
Ultimate Warrior, yeah.
Right. Every era.
I had money on that match.
Right. Did you now? As a young kid.
Yeah, I bet $1 that Hulk Hogan would win.
Oh my God. I bet, you know what? I betted some baseball cards and a stale bubble gum.
Oh, that.
By the way, why was the gum so stale back then when we were young?
Still chewed it.
It cracked the tooth. I knew we still chewed it.
And it cracked in your mouth too.
Like it's instantly. Just bad gum.
White, I don't even know what you call a film on it almost.
Do better, Tops.
Yeah, and you knew we were going to eat it.
You know we're going to eat it.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can't put it in there like, oh, kids don't want this.
Come on. Bad by you.
Yeah, well.
But, yeah, so.
I still can't forget the smell of that gum. Smells great, by the way. Taste, not so much.
Nostalgic.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, so I can't wait for the 2 nights of WrestleMania and NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs. We got a sports-filled weekend.
I know Inter Miami coming up at 4:30 today with their new coach.
Oh, my God. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We don't even know. From what I hear, there was a blow up a la Tata Martino in the locker room. Some of the guys got mad at Javier Mascherano, and Mascherano said, you know what? Screw this. Personal reasons. I'm out. So NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, the Marlins coming up in just a few minutes for a little afternoon delight. Inter Miami afternoon delight at 4:30. U.S. women's national team, they already won their game. Canes baseball, they're playing at 5 o'clock tonight. Canes football already had their spring game earlier today. You got a full weekend. And we're going to be back tomorrow for 1 hour. Power hour tomorrow.
Power hour?
Yeah, noon to 1.
All right.
Just the 2 of us. Maybe Daniel Solano. We'll see. I can't get him off the links. He's been a big golf guy.
I mean, the weather's getting good now. You know they're going to be golfing.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing all that, and we'll have the Marlins game on also tomorrow. But, yeah, so it should be interesting to see what happens with WrestleMania. I'm kind of shocked that, as you said, it's not sold out, and Vegas has got to be just electric at the same time insufferable.
Dan, the ticket prices are ridiculous. The ticket prices for all wrestling events are crazy.
I mean, it's like World Cup. When is World Cup going to outprice themselves? Because some of the ticket prices and ability to even get tickets is ridiculous. And I understand it's the biggest sporting event in the world. I get that, but still, there has to come a tipping point.
Here's when I look at it. Do you want fans to come to your event and spend money, or do you want them to just be like, you know what? I could sit in the comfort of my own home and just enjoy the game like that.
I'm also guessing that a lot of people are going to do this. What they do at the Super Bowl is they're going to go but not have tickets. They're just going to go to experience the atmosphere. That blew me away in Miami when we had that Kansas City, San Francisco 49ers game before COVID. How many people came? And I was like, so you got tickets?
Oh,
No.
in January? Oh, you're talking about January of that year, right?
Well, for the week of the Super Bowl, I would be like, oh, you got tickets? No. I just wanted to come experience this. And you and I
it's Miami. Oh, dude, the college football championship. Yeah.
How many? And of course, there was a lot of Indiana people, and I understand that this is possibly a once in a lifetime. But you and I were out in South Beach. We broadcast live. Everybody we met. Oh, you got tickets to the game? Nah. Do you want some? I don't know. I'm just here for the fun. Like, okay. It's an expensive way to have fun.
Here's the thing, though, Cousin. You can spend money in a place to have fun if the place is fun.
It's fun.
Like
yeah, if it's Detroit, and I'm not knocking Detroit.
Yeah, no
like
disrespect to Detroit, but I'm not going to Detroit just to hang out.
Get the
Detroit.
atmosphere, the
right.
ambiance.
You know?
Yeah, it does matter. Like, even LA at that point, LA's so spread out. It's like, you come to Miami, it's South Beach. You're going to be running around South Beach. You're going to see fans on both sides. It's going to be wild. You go to Las Vegas, it's the Strip. Everybody's going to the Strip. Everybody's going to have fun. You go to New Orleans, it's Bourbon Street. It's the French Quarter. But you go to places like I said, like LA, it's so spread out. Like, well, where's the fun at? I don't know. Santa Monica. You go to Detroit, like, I don't know. New York, you go to Times Square. Everybody's going to be in Times Square. You're going to have some fun. So, yeah, I mean, it does depend on the place. I'm sure you're more willing to spend the money, but look at, Brady got that guy in the back of the head a couple times. He got the better end. Brady got it back. He got it back.
That's a good fade. That was a good fade right there. That's a nice, fair fade right there.
We'll end on a fight. That's just like the Heat season.
I like that.
We'll end on a nasty play, and we'll get back tomorrow at noon. We've got Marlins baseball against the Brewers coming up next. Sandy Alcantara hopefully can get the big win, get the Marlins back on the right track. They were 9-11 on the season. Let's get to 10-11. Vlad, you've got a lot of watching to do. You got your Knicks and WrestleMania tonight. So let's get it ready. We'll see you tomorrow. For my cousin Vladimir Lewisson, I am Dan Day.
That'd be him.
You have been listening to what show?
Sports Day
on 104.3 FM
WQAM. Later, fools.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore